listening to New Day Talk Radio, where every day is a new day. You're listening to Consulting to Win with your host, Ralph White.
Good morning. Welcome to Consulting to Win. I'm here this morning, and Ralph White, and we're going to be talking about some really exciting information about social media. And I'm here with Bonnie Landau, one of our consultants, and we got some wonderful things to talk with you about. And we're with Consulting Alliance. We're with Possibilities Unlimited. That was a previous lifetime, and we're here to give you an experience of what it's like to work with a business coach. We're here to give you the opportunity to work with us and look at the interacting with a business coach. At Possibilities Unlimited, we're about working in a model of consulting to win. And winning is the dynamics of working together. You know, winning means results that you can be accountable for. A win is the ultimate result that you can accomplish that you want. You know, we're committed to a win-win game where everyone in the game can be a winner. The company, the employees, the customers, and the owners. In other words, winning is enhanced by the joint effort of the group. The concept of win-lose is a zero-sum game, is based on the concept of a lack of or limitation, the belief that there's a limited amount of something available. At Possibility Unlimited, which is the name of our company, we believe that, in fact, there are unlimited possibilities in the universe. Therefore, everyone has the opportunity to win. So we stand for winning in cooperation. In other words, we encourage people to work together to produce extraordinary results in a winning model. So that's what we're really about. So Bonnie and I are here today to give you some consulting, to give you some coaching in how to win. So, Bonnie, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, we're going to be talking about how to use social media, which is online networking, to expand your network and, thereby promote your business.
Excellent. So why would I want to promote my business using social media?
The biggest reason is you can reach people that you otherwise wouldn't be able to reach. I mean, like when you use social media, you're connecting to people that are online, literally worldwide. And when you're networking, by going to your business meetings or talking to people you're keeping your network close to home. But a lot of us have businesses that we can do through the phone or over the internet, and perhaps you visit the person one time and then, you talk to them all the time through email. And so connecting with people outside your little circle of your network is a really excellent way to grow your business. There's a lot of people out there looking for assistance in many different ways.
Yeah. I know you're a real expert in social media. So, to you, it's like the water you swim in if you were a fish. But, just in case we have somebody out there that, I don't even know what we were talking about, could you, give us sort of a definition of what you mean by social media?
Yeah, social media is using tools that are available on the internet to connect with people that you otherwise wouldn't meet.
Okay. So give me an example of what that might be.
Probably the most popular example these days is Twitter. Twitter is a tool where you can, in 140 words, you can do little what they call mini blogs. And so you put little concepts, or you might say, some people tweet, I'm sitting in the airport waiting for my airplane and I just saw Dustin Hoffman walk by, Or some people might tweet, well, wow, look at this great blog I just read, you should go read it too. And what happens on Twitter is that you have an opportunity to put a profile and a link to your website. So in your profile, people can see what you're interested in, and then they can connect with you. And so you can find people of common interest, and you start having actual discussions on Twitter. So a good example was yesterday, I have a friend in South Africa named Robert Bravery, who he's a developer and a designer like me, and we were talking about what browsers we really should be optimizing for these days, because it keeps changing, and Google just came out with Chrome, which is a new browser, and who's really using what. And it was a really interesting conversation for me, because I didn't realize that one of the browsers, Safari, had become so popular. And I was like, wow, we need to pay attention to that one. And previously it wasn't. So it's like through this discussion with this guy in South Africa, who I never would have met otherwise, I've learned a lot of really cool stuff. And so Twitter is an opportunity really to connect with people who are interested in the same things you are, and not only develop friendships with them, but to exchange ideas. And then what happens is when you develop relationships with these people, then they become your own promoter. And a really good example is the other day, Robert said, would you want to guest post on my blog? And I wrote a post and he put it up on his blog, which gives me promotion for my company. So it's really, that opportunity never would have happened without Twitter.
So I have clients that have this like, well, I thought Twitter was for teenagers, and I don't understand blogs, and so I'm seeing that people are in all different stages. You sort of like if there was a spectrum, there's on one end of the spectrum is people it's like I don't understand this at all. On the other end of the spectrum are people like yourself that's like, oh, this is great and there's lots of possibilities here, and it's a something that I must be involved in and must take advantage of. So when what do you see is it's you're an early adopter.
Actually, yeah. Well, the thing is actually Twitter. They recently did a research study, and the demographic on Twitter is largely 30 to 50, not teenagers as they initially thought it would be, and which is really interesting, And so really, you are getting that entrepreneurial business mindset on Twitter, and it's not a bunch of teenagers just tweeting whatever. The other thing is, somebody who says, why should I do this for my business? The real question is why not? People are networking this way. This is the future. This is the way people are connecting. Do you use email? Do you have a website? You're already doing social media using online tools. And if you're not participating in the arenas which are the new meetups of today, you're not participating in a big part of how our future networking is going to work.
Well, what's the advantage of Twitter over just email? I mean, I've used email for years.
Yeah, well, Twitter is a public discussion forum, somewhat like a message board. What's really cool about Twitter is that people follow you and you follow other people. So you pick somebody to follow. So for example, I like to follow people who are really into Joomla because they post blogs and information about Joomla, which is a content management system that I'm very interested in. And so I'll follow people, and then what they'll do is they do what's called retweet. So somebody puts up their message saying, hey, did you read this really cool blog about how to do SEO on Joomla? And then somebody who's following them will make a copy of it and retweet it and say, check it out, you should read this. And so when people retweet, I find other people to follow because I wasn't following the person who originally posted the message. So I find more interesting people, which gives me more interesting information. By the same token, people who are following me will retweet my messages. So I put up messages, I just posted this blog, go read it. And then somebody who has developed a relationship with me feels like, oh, I want to help promote Bonnie. And then suddenly they'll retweet me and maybe somebody else will retweet it again. And so suddenly Twitter becomes a natural marketing tool for me, and it's because of the relationships I developed. It's the same concept as one-on-one marketing. Somebody gets to know you and they like you and they like your services, and then they tell somebody else. Well, Twitter's the same thing on a micro level.
Interesting, because I've always felt that the value of your business is based on the number of relationships that you have. Really, I've felt that people look at their balance sheet, and I've felt that there should be a line on the balance sheet that says how many relationships a business has, how many vendors, how many employees, how many customers, you could equate, Coca-Cola has, billions of relationships. Therefore, it's a more valuable business. A small company has, hundreds of relationships. Therefore, it has less value. So I think what you're pointing to is that there's an ability here to increase the value of your business.
Absolutely.
By doing that. Okay, so, and I'm hearing that this actually gives you an ability to go out and find people from from your own home, from your own computer. So it means it sounds like I don't have to go to networking meetings to do this.
No, you do it from your own computer or even your phone. You can do it mobilely if you have one of the phones that accommodates that.
Okay, so I could actually, I could do it while I'm traveling. I can do it from my phone, so I can, I can do it quite, anytime I wanted.
Right, and the thing is that when you're using social media, you are developing relationships, but the key to doing it successfully, in my opinion, is to connect with people who have common interests. So if you're just going out there going, look at me, I'm really good at what I do, I can do marketing coaching and I can help you, nobody wants to listen to that. You pick areas of your life that you are interested in. It may not relate to your business. And you focus on those areas and you connect with people in those areas, and then those people will promote you. Because I always go by the philosophy in networking is you never know who somebody knows. So a good example is, in my case, I'm very into alternative education and exercises and brain therapies that help children in education. So on Twitter, I'm hooked into a lot of people who are doing research in brain therapies, research in ways to help children learn, especially children who are challenged with learning. And I've actually had conversations with a famous author of The Mislabeled Child, 2 neuroscientists. I've actually had exchanges, and they've promoted, they've retweeted some of my stuff, so they helped promote me. And so, that's not related to what I do for money. It's an interest of mine, and I've developed relationships through conversations. Then all of a sudden, I send out, here's my website. I just added this to it. Could you give me feedback? And suddenly all these people from different arenas are retweeting it. And so they're reaching a network of people that, who knows who would be interested. So it's really, really important not to be fake in the new media world. It's really important to go out there and be yourself. Connect with people in arenas that are of interest to you, even if it's not related to your business, and then, leverage those into networking opportunities. You still want to network with people in your industry, but what happens is some people come onto Twitter and they immediately go look at my website, go look at my business, look at me, I'm so great, I can help you. Nobody reads those tweets. They stop following them. What you do is you come to Twitter, you watch and you listen, and then you start saying, okay, I like this person, I see what they're tweeting, start replying to them, sending comments to them, make a connection with them. Say, I saw you tweet this, and I know about this blog that talks all about that, I thought you'd be interested. But do it in the Twitter forum so other people see it, and then people say, oh, you're interested in that, I want to follow that person. And suddenly you find yourself in conversations with people. I mean, there's one guy up in Sacramento who, he's an advocate for alternative learning, and he's developed a relationship with me so that no matter what I put on Twitter, he retweets it. No matter what. Whether it's related to my blog for business, the Possibilities Unlimited blog, whether it's a website that we've just launched, whatever it is, he will retweet it for me. And he's not even a business relationship in terms of he's not a client. I don't coach him. I've never even talked to the guy on the phone.
He's just someone who follows you, likes what you're doing, and just out of courtesy retweets it to the group of people that's following him.
And he's got, I think, 1,400 people following him. So he's reaching a group. He's also connected into that whole brain group. And yeah, so it's really, at first when I started, I thought, wow, this is overwhelming. So I can totally see when somebody coming in, they're like, whew, this is a lot. And, You know, that's really, I came up with this concept to get people into it, of the social media diet. Get yourself on the social media diet, which means,
Right.
you know, do it in a way that's digestible and doable, and don't overwhelm yourself. I think people come in and they're like, oh my God, I need to be on LinkedIn, I need to be on Facebook, I need to be on Twitter, I need to be on Plexo, and then they go, ugh, how am I going to get that all done?
Yeah, I've seen, you know, the blog that you posted today, you know, about the social media diet, and I just want to remind people that if you're, you know, this is a great opportunity to ask Bonnie questions. So if you have an interest, you know, please call in on 310-715-6709. That's 310-715-6709. And feel free to ask any questions about social media. This is a great opportunity to get, you know, ask Bonnie questions about it. But this social media diet, I have this program called TweetDeck. So I'm following you, and and you do tweet a lot, and you're also on Facebook. So I'm looking at Twitter and Facebook, and it fills my screen. So I have like this 24-inch screen, and I actually have three screens on my desk, and I look over it, and it's, so I've got these rows and rows of tweets and Facebook, and I look at it, and it's like, you know, I can't. It's like overwhelming. You know, it's like, how can I can't read all of them. I don't have time for all of that. How do you manage all of that?
I think the first key in the social media diet is really accepting that you're not going to do it all. This is not something that happens overnight. It is something that happens with persistence and patience and consistency. Okay? So you're not going to develop a huge following on Twitter overnight unless you join one of those, you know, follow me things that send you a bunch of junk people to follow you. People that follow you because they've signed up for a service to get followers and then they auto-follow you, those are not valuable followers. Those are just people who want numbers on their following list. You want to focus on creating good relationships. Quality, not quantity. Okay? So the social media diet involves, first of all, dedicating yourself to a schedule every day. And this is on the blog. I wrote the schedule. So it's one 20-minute session a day and 2 5-minute sessions a day. Your 20-minute session should be at the time that the people you want to connect to the most are going to be on Twitter. So if you're in the United States, it's probably in the morning. You know, people